When we think about African countries, our opinions of them are usually bleak. But I wanted to highlight Nigeria as the growing pride within the African diaspora. And this is despite all its shortcomings. And believe me, it does have some shortcomings. Anyone knows Nigeria will tell you that it struggles with political corruption, public waste and public abuse. It struggles with misogyny. It struggles with intrusive traditions and so forth. But in recent time, it's been really growing. And again, I'm not saying it's a perfect country, by far it's not, but it's been really growing. And one of the institutions that have been working to change this public image, this international image of Nigeria, is the Nollywood movie industry. That's Nigeria's local movie industry, which has been very impressive in its growth and in its expansive reach around the world, and it's really making a connection with the African diaspora, meaning like countries like Jamaica and Barbados and Trinidad and the Caribbean, black countries in general, and even having a reach into Europe, among people that are not generally Africans. It is shaping Nigeria's international image in that it's perhaps one of the only or the most prominent institution that is dealing with issues that needs to be dealt with, or else a country cannot improve its image. And of course, the Nollywood movie industry has been dealing with issues like the dysfunction of tribal traditions, because believe me, when I talk about a country steep in tradition, that is Nigeria, and most times, not sometimes, but most times, the tradition gets in the way of the country moving forward, and it gets interpreted as being, I'm gonna say, little uncivilized in some ways. That is the traditions. I mean, the way they get into people's everyday life, and they're very intrusive, and some can be, interpreted. I'm careful now. Some can be interpreted as making everyday life a little dysfunctional. The movie industry is also dealing with, domestic abuse. And when I say domestic abuse, I'm not talking about just spouses or a husband abusing their wives because of misogyny. I'm talking about abusing staff members, working, helpers, just people, domestic staff in general. There's a tradition of doing so. And I don't know if it's because, it seems to me rather, that it's because traditional domestic workers tend to, the employers tend to want to draw a distinction between the domestic workers and themselves. And so this hard-handed, heavy-handed way, oftentimes abusive, is that commonly, the way it's commonly done. The movie industry also addresses, I see, classism. Classism is something Nigeria struggles with, really struggle with, and the movie industry deals with that a lot. I see the chronic poverty. Nigeria is a country with a lot of wealth. It's an oil country, has minerals and stuff like that. It has a highly educated workforce, very highly educated workforce, so much so that, a significant portion of its educated population does not have employment, which makes for very bad social dynamics at times. All right. But again, the country has made great stride. It's becoming, one of the top entertainment capitals in Africa. It's It's people around the world are identifying with this culture. You can see a lot of dances emerging out of there, a lot of music and stuff like that. The world is embracing it, comparing to years ago. And I just want to give a shout out to Nigeria for making some great progress forward. However, it struggles a lot with public abuse, corruption, abuse, you know, public corruption, public abuse, and stuff like that. But we should not be highlighting those without pointing out that it has made great stride. It is now moving into the position of an international or world class country in many respect, technology development. Some of the greatest, most beautiful cities on the continent you will see in Nigeria. And I just wanted to point out that it is quickly becoming, the pride of the African diaspora in many, many respects, notwithstanding its many shortcomings. Thanks for watching Bob Montego. If you haven't yet done so, please like, share, subscribe, and tell someone about my videos. Thanks again for watching.